Hey there! Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shreya and you're watching the Stitch by Shreya knitting channel. Today I'm going to be doing a knit and chat video. I wanted to come and film, but I didn't really want to film a podcast today. I'm planning to do that later in the week. So I just wanted to come and hang out and knit a little bit. I asked for some questions on Instagram and I got a couple of Q&A questions. Plus I'm going to be updating you guys on what's been going on in my life. I have some pretty exciting news that I just made public, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. But before we get started, I wanted to talk about what I will be knitting on today. So today I will be working on this shawl. This is the Floatini shawl by Callie Monster or Monster Knits. And this is a project for my local yarn store, a Pop of Color Yarns in Morgan Hill. So the corally pink color is Kelborn Woolens in the perennial base. The color is, I believe, neon coral. And this is a mohair by someone who lives in the area. Her line is called Moo Fibers. And this is just a basic mohair and the colorway is Hibiscus Blossom. And they sell this at the local yarn store as well. So this is such a lovely, interesting shawl design. I'm a little bit more than halfway done, I want to say, and this is due pretty soon, so I'm planning to try to just like smash out the rest of it while I can. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have some garter rows, but I do have to look at this a little bit just because I tend to miss my stitches sometimes when I'm working with it. So yeah, the main thing that's kind of been going on in my life is that I am pregnant. It's probably not something that you would have like noticed because I've been pretty strategic in hiding my belly or my bump in most of my photos, but I have been making a conscious effort not to post like anything that would show an unflattering angle. And now that I feel comfortable, I decided to announce it publicly. I am 26 weeks at this point in my pregnancy, so I'm more than halfway there. I have a due date in December. It's like early December, and I'm having a baby boy, which I'm really excited about. This is my first child, so I will be a new mom, and I know there's a lot of exciting things that come with being a first-time parent, as well as being a parent of boys versus being a parent of girls. I'm just excited for all the things to come. And yeah, it's a big change. Symptoms-wise, I've been pretty good. Like I've had a pretty easy pregnancy as far as how everything's been in the recent months. My first trimester, I did have a bit of nausea, vomiting, the typical things that happen in the first trimester. But now most of those symptoms subsided about 4 months in. And now I've been feeling baby kicks on a regular basis, which is just so lovely. It's such a beautiful feeling. And I can tell that he likes some things more than others. He tends to kick a lot after I eat some stuff. So he definitely enjoys the sweets because whenever I have something a little bit sweet, he's always like kicking around in there. And it's just fun to kind of see. I don't know him yet, but I'm excited to meet him and I kind of want to know what his personality is going to be like. So that's just been like something that I've been very excited about, and I'm just happy to kind of like tell people now and feel comfortable telling people. The early part of pregnancy, people typically don't announce too early because there are a number of things that could go wrong. And it's just safer to wait until you're around the 20 to 23 week hump, because that's when you will find out, you know, if the baby's developing properly, if the pregnancy is like fully viable. So that's why I felt more comfortable waiting. I had definitely told my parents and my in-laws and like our close family and friends earlier, but just general knowledge to everyone, I waited till I was like really comfortable. So yeah, that's basically the big thing that's been going on in my life. And because of which our house is like in a big state of change. My husband and I, we have we moved into this house last year and we have a lot of space, which is such a blessing. But we wanted to make sure that when the baby comes, the baby has their own nursery, which will eventually turn into a bedroom. And so because of which he had to move his office downstairs, and this room that I'm in right now, this is what I call like my yarn room, but it's also the guest bedroom and it's also an office space for myself. So in this room, we kind of decided, okay, let's like move a couple things around. Let's get some stuff organized. And then in our bedroom, we are doing a little bit of remodeling. So that's going to be, so once the remodel is done, everything that is supposed to go there is in where the baby room is. So the baby room can only get worked on once the remodel is done, which will be in like a week or two. And once that's done, then I can really start working on the nursery, because before I know it, the baby's gonna be here. So I just wanna make sure that we can get that done as soon as possible. And the other thing is that I do go back to work kind of soon. I've had the month of August off and it was an extremely busy school year for me. We work from September until May for group classes, and then over the summer we do a lot of private classes for my students that are preparing for solo performances. So in August, we luckily had I guess it's almost 4 weeks off from our last performance. And it's just been like what I needed to rejuvenate. Usually my husband and I will try to travel. This year we decided, with the baby coming so soon, let's just stay in town and get our bearings about us and get ready for the baby to come. And hopefully this time of rest will really propel me for the next couple months to come, because I start work again after Labor Day and I go until I take my maternity leave sometime in November. So I do have quite a bit of work ahead of me with the school opening back up, and then I take some leave in November and December and January, and then I'll be back to work sometime early spring next year, which is crazy. I don't know if I don't know what motherhood is going to be like. I don't know what the first 3 months are going to be like, but I have a lot of friends and family who have had babies recently, and based on their experiences, I know it's going to be a little bit tough in the first couple of months, but that's okay. I'm also not really sure how much I'll really be able to knit in the months that I just give birth. People say it's like a mixed bag because it depends on if the baby falls asleep on you or not, or it depends on what type of baby you have, whether the baby's fussy or not. So depending on all of these factors, that's how I'll know if I'll actually be able to get a lot of knitting done or not. I'm just kind of leaving it open-ended for now because I don't want to set expectations for myself. I just want to enjoy that time with the baby. So right now I've just been knitting like crazy. I've been doing a lot of test knits. I've been doing a lot of baby knits. I've been gift knitting. I've just been trying to get a bunch of projects off the needles while I still have the energy and excitement to do so. This project, along with another project, my Skyline pullover, those are the last samples or test knits I'm going to do before the baby comes. I just decided I needed to put a hard stop into when I keep signing up for test knits, because I, one, don't want to let the designer down by not meeting the deadline, and two, want to just give myself the time to clear the needles of other projects, work on things from my beautiful stash, which is my new filming location today, and just give myself the space to really enjoy the last couple of months without having any deadlines or anything. The deadline, of course, being the nursery and having all the baby stuff ready, but because I've heard stories of friends who had babies as early as 34 weeks or even 30 weeks or 37 weeks on the dot, and I'm I just want to have the baby and have my home be ready for when the baby is here. So if I can get that done earlier, that would be great, and then I can just relax until the baby is here, and such that it's a comfortable situation for them. So yeah, that's pretty much all the baby stuff. I did get a couple of questions from Instagram, so I wanted to go through those. So the first question is, how am I doing? I would say I'm doing pretty good. I want to say that I've had a relatively easy pregnancy. Like, there are days where there are some things that are more uncomfortable than others. For example, lately I've been having round ligament pain, which means like when I move around, sometimes I get a little bit of pain in my pelvis area, and that's like a little uncomfortable. And then I've also noticed that I have to portion my food differently. I can't eat a lot in one sitting. I usually have to eat like half of the portion that I'm used to, because if I eat too much, I just get incredibly uncomfortable. And my belly is growing, so that puts a little bit of pressure on my lower back. So if I stand for a long time, it tends to make my lower back feel sore. And if I eat too much, then my belly pushes up into my ribs when I'm sitting. So I just have to adjust some things. Like I have to adjust how I sleep, I have to adjust how I sit. But this is such a temporary thing, and at the end of it, I'm gonna have my kid. So I'm excited that it's been going the way it's been going, and that I haven't had like a lot of nausea or anything like that. I did have nausea in the first trimester, and there were some days that were really bad, but as a whole, it wasn't like too bad at all. So I would say I'm doing really well. Yeah. Next question is, what is your dream knitting project? So I haven't really had a chance to think about my dream knitting project because I continue to have dreams of just like all the types of sweaters in my wardrobe. I think right now, something that I've really been like dreaming of having is the Ingrid pullover by PetiteKnit. It's a very beautiful like Gansey style jumper, and it has different textural elements throughout the body and the sleeve, throughout the body and the sleeves. It's very popular. I think like tons of people have made it. I bought yarn for it a while ago. I bought this Surrey from Olivia and all of her fibers quite a while ago, and I just haven't really had a chance to work on it yet because I keep signing up for like test knits and sample knits and things like that. But I told myself, I was like, you are going to stop and you're going to work on whatever you want to work on. And so I think what's going to happen is in my next podcast, you might see some new cast-ons, and you might see some impulsive types of things that I cast on, but they're not test knits. They're things from stash. And that's what I'm really excited to work on coming up. So I think one of my dream projects is the Ingrid pullover. Another one is a colorwork project. I really haven't done much color work in a sweater. Like I haven't done any color work in a sweater. So I really wanted to try one of the Petite Knitters patterns. I forget which pattern exactly I was gonna go for, but this yarn in my stash is what I have for it. This is from my friend Sharon. She dyes yarn. Her handle is Rui Knits, and she dyed this color in Sesame and Periwinkle, and I bought it for a colorwork jumper. So I plan to make one of the Petite Knitter patterns eventually. I actually really wanted to make it for a Christmas sweater this year, but I bought it before I was pregnant, and now I really don't see myself even celebrating. Well, I'll probably celebrate, but I probably won't go to anyone's house this year for Christmas, because if the baby comes on the due date, the baby will be like less than a month old when Christmas happens this year. So we'll probably just be at home, and I really doubt that I'll be able to finish a full colorwork jumper by that time. So that's another one. There's the Merit cardigan as well that I think is just such a stunning design. That one was in a Lina magazine issue from a few weeks ago. Oh my god. It's from a Lina magazine issue from like a couple years ago. I don't remember which issue or whatever it's from, but that's another one that I really like. And that has like, I want to say it's Fair Isle style. But I think I would only make that when I'm a little bit more comfortable with color work and tensioning, because it is multi I think at any given time you're only doing 2 colors, but you have multiple colors throughout the piece, and then you also have like steeking, I think, is involved. So there's just a lot of techniques in it, and I'm not comfortable enough with color work to just pick up such a beast of a project like that. So yeah, something cabled, something color work, and eventually something steeked. That's kind of where I'm at right now with dream knitting projects. My ultimate dream is to actually use my stash for like the intended purposes. Like I bought this green yarn from Sorella. I bought this like a while ago, and I wanted to make a balloon sweater by PetiteKnit, and I would like to actually make that balloon sweater. Or, you know, a lot of these are single skeins, and I was like, maybe I'll make socks, maybe I'll make a hat. I'd like to just, you know, go through them and actually use them and feel really excited about the things that I have in my stash. Next, patterns I'm looking forward to making. Yes. So one of them that's going to come up really soon is I'm going to make the Great Gingham Raglan by Jessie Maed. It has that beautiful gingham look throughout, and then I think she used Spin Cycle and Ritual dyes for hers. I'm going to be using the Wandering Flock, so I have this Electric Orchid colorway, and I think, oh, I have to pull it out and see. I think this is, oh, Cosmic Tie-Dye. And this is like technically a sport weight yarn according to the label, but it would probably come closer to a heavier fingering for me because it's 400 yards per skein. Let's see if I can actually get this back in. Okay, good enough. So that one I'm planning to cast on really soon for the Wandering Flock knit along. And I also bought this yarn for my birthday last year, and I really, really, really want to use it. And I think that's also going to scratch like a little bit of that color work itch that I have. I also really am looking forward to, I'm just looking at my stash to kind of see what's coming in the pipeline. I think the patterns I'm really looking forward to making are baby knits, because I've just been kind of slowly acquiring some colors that I think would be really beautiful for baby knits. And I have some ideas for matching baby knits that I'm going to be making. So I bought this from Stress Knits Yarn a while ago. I want to say sometime in April during her in-stock update. And this is on her favorite base. This is the eucalyptus color. I bought 2 skeins of fingering, and this is going to be a baby Ingrid sweater. So this is probably the first matching Mommy and Me that I'm going to make. It's not going to be matching in color, but it's going to be matching in pattern. So the baby's going to get this, like, I want to say greenish blue colorway, and it has little blue speckles throughout. And mine is going to be more on like the cream side with a little bit of pink and brown in it. So that's the first one. And then I also have this teddy bear brown color from Cascade. This is the colorway, let's see, it just says 5759, so I guess it's just brown. I got this in D-Stash. I'm planning to make the teddy suit, so it's like a onesie, but it's sleeveless and it has like the teddy bear smiley on it. This one I'm gonna make for baby. This is not gonna be a Mommy and Me. I don't think I would ever knit a full onesie for myself, just because it would just take an exorbitant amount of yarn. So those are the first 2 baby projects that I have planned. I have this yarn from Suki Mountain Fibers as well. And so I originally bought a sweater quantity for myself, and for whatever reason I wasn't gravitating towards it for me. I bought some mohair that I thought would work with it, but it ended up being a little bit too brown. So if I don't use this for myself, I'll use this for some baby knitting, and this would be a really pretty Monday sweater, and I just hold it together and marl it, and I think that would be really sweet as well. I really loved like the rust and the orange and the yellow that come through. This colorway is Calcifer. Yeah. So I have some of this that I could use for a baby knit as well. But like the big one that I'm planning to do is a prism blanket from Pearl Soho. So I'll pull out just a couple of the colors. So this is going to be a Pearl Soho prism blanket, and these are the colorways from the Pearl Soho Good Wool. I saw Hannah Graham make this blanket in different colors on her channel like a couple months ago, and I've just been like dreaming about it since then. I've been like, I really want this. I really want to make one either for a baby, or I want to make one as like a throw for my house. And so I bought the crib size one, and I bought the yarn before I knew the gender of the baby, because I was like, well, these are not like really pinky pinks, and these blues, like, yes, there's like a brighter blue, but it doesn't really matter. So I bought it and I was like, this will be great. If the baby doesn't like it, I'll just keep it as like a lap blanket or something. So I'm gonna make a crib size for the prism blanket. And then once I received this yarn, I was like, I understand the hype about Good Wool. It's soft, it feels luxurious, it's so plump. I need to start working on this pretty soon though, because if I am 26 weeks now, and let's say the baby comes when I'm 40 weeks, and there are 12 squares, and I do 1 square a week, that would be 38 weeks, which is kind of cutting it close, because I really don't know how fast I'll be knitting towards the end. So I probably need to cast this on extremely soon. Maybe I'll do it once I finish this sample knit, because the blanket is like garter, so it's not going to be like terribly difficult to do, but I just want to get a head start on it, because it's nice to have like that regular progress on a blanket that you can just kind of chip away with time. So that is probably what I'm most excited to make, because it's also going to be like a heirloom piece. Like, it'll be something that I can have in the family for a long time to come. So next, how to not go crazy with all the baby knitting. It's easy to, because they work up so quickly. Like, I think I finished a baby sweater in 1.5 to 2 days. I finished a baby hat in 2 days, and I finished a pair of baby socks in 1 evening. So it's really easy to go crazy on it, but I'm just trying to make things. Well, first, I'm not making anything in the newborn size. Since I'm tall and my husband is tall, we're fully expecting our baby to have very long limbs and just kind of grow kind of quickly. So I'm starting everything at the 6-month size. And the second thing I'm doing is kind of like trying to make it seasonally appropriate. My baby's gonna be born in the winter, but like it's not like that cold here. It is, but it isn't. And they might not like the wool. They may not like how it feels. So I'm just making things only in superwash, only in like things that I can throw in the washer or dryer. So I'm trying not to go crazy, because I want to make all the little things, but at the same time, I really just want to make things that will make sense. So accessories, I think, are a lot better than sweaters, although I really, really, really need to make that matching Ingrid sweater with the baby, because that's just too cute. And I also, I just want to, I like knitting for me, and my baby is going to be very knit worthy because it's my baby, but I don't want to overwhelm or make it uncomfortable or make him feel like too hot. It might just be for the photo and then take off the sweater, but that's also fine. Next is any mommy and baby knits. Okay, so like I said, the Ingrid sweater. There's also the Moby sweater, which I might do as like a daddy and me one, because I haven't made my husband a sweater yet. So I might make him a Moby, I might make my son a Moby, and I might make myself a Moby. We'll see. I don't have yarn in stash for a Moby sweater. I'd probably have to invest in some. And if I do that, my husband will be like, you have so much yarn, like, why do you need more? So I don't know about that one. We'll see. And then a Monday sweater for sure, because a Monday sweater is super easy. It's just, I think it's like a DK weight sweater, and I have plenty of fingering weight to hold double, or I can make a fingering plus mohair for myself, and I can make my son 2 strands of fingering, something like that. So those are initially the ones that I have planned. I think it might be really easy to do some like matching Oslo hats, or like any hat pattern would be really easy to match. Or I saw, I think it's La Mercerie, Jess, she has like matching socks with her daughter, and I think that'd be really cute because I always make a pair of socks and I use like 60 grams, and then I can make a matching baby pair of socks, which would use like probably like 10 grams tops. So I think that'd be really cute too. But I'm for sure gonna be that baby that that mom that tries to match with her baby, or like loves dressing up baby, because I just think it's so cute. I just like seeing all the little outfits. Yeah. So yeah, needless to say, I'm really excited about the baby being here soon. I think I have about 4-ish more months, so it'll go by really quickly, and we're already in the second half of the year, so I'm sure that things are going to be changing very soon for me. As far as how much knitting I got done today, I literally only did 2 rows, so I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm probably going to put some Netflix on and just like hammer that out in a little bit, but I'm really excited to share this part of my life with all of you. And if you enjoyed this video, hit thumbs up, leave me a comment. It really helps me understand like what's going on and what you enjoy about my projects. And then make sure you're following me on Instagram. That's Stitched by Shreya. Same thing as my channel. And my Ravelry is also Stitched by Shreya. You can become my friend on there. I read all the comments. If you message me on Instagram, I usually reply to everything. So I'd really appreciate it if you just took a minute to just give me a comment. And if you stayed this far, comment with a milk bottle emoji and tell me what you were working on during this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in a week or so with a podcast episode. Bye!